Greetings from Costa Rica. I hope everybody is doing well. We've got the daily press conference of the Costa Rican government regarding COVID-19, and specifically today, it's July 23rd, and the government has indicated that today they're going to be giving more information about the details of their reopening plans for the border. So a lot of expats are interested. When is Costa Rica going to reopen its borders? We've been told that yes, they're going to stick to the deadline of August 2nd to open for some countries. Which countries remains to be determined, and everybody is going to be interested to find out which of those countries are going to be included and other pertinent details of how they're going to open up their airports. Here's the press conference. I'll be listening and probably unable to really take too many comments or respond here in English, just because translating itself is something that pretty much takes up all of my brain wavelength. If somewhere along the line you have a question, feel free to write it here in the comments. Or if you're watching this later on YouTube, feel free to send me an email to matt@cbtamarindo.com. Again, my name is Matt Rosensteel. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Tamarindo Realty here in Guanacaste. And a lot of my clients are very interested to hear when they'll be opening the Costa Rican borders to different countries. And in a few moments, the press conference should be starting here. I wanted to get on in just a few minutes of anticipation to ensure that I could get everything working. Everybody can hear me okay? I hope it's just not silent and no one is saying anything. But anyhow, hopefully things are working on the stream. We'll go ahead and wait for the press conference to start. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. Good to see you, King. Thanks very much for joining us. You cannot hear me clearly. Let me see. Oh, you can. Perfect. For some reason, I thought that Domino, the press conference is available on the Facebook page of the Ministerio de Salud. If you go into Facebook, you would search for Ministerio de Salud Costa Rica. I'm writing that in the comments. They've been great that their daily coronavirus briefings have all been live cast on Facebook. And every day you can see that there are thousands and thousands of Costa Ricans watching. It turns into sort of a fun national chat room as the different restrictions, the vehicle, different rules that they were issuing, etc., are updated. Here in Costa Rica, there has been growing anxiety, definitely a lot of people that want to see the economy reopen. As of today, July 23rd, we've been seeing over the last 2 weeks a surge in cases, whereas April and May, Costa Rica had almost some of the best coronavirus case numbers in the world. In June, the economy started reopening. They did start to see a growing number of daily cases, and we went from seeing maybe 1 or 2 dozen per day at most. Now they're typically reporting 400 to 500. Hopefully the press conference is getting started here. The Ministerio de Salud. If for some reason it goes very long, I'm actually only available for the next 2 hours to translate, but I do think they'll be getting around to the most important information, especially about the borders reopening, probably sooner rather than later. They usually also give the number of daily cases that they found, how they're going to modify restrictions within the country, etc. And throughout the crisis, the Minister of Health has been very, very deliberate, calm in his approach, and very, I think, reassuring in the way that the national government here has presented a very comprehensive strategy for dealing with COVID-19 from the start. It has drawn criticism because lots of people have been hurt economically. Borders have been closed to foreigners since early March. and with foreign investment and tourism making up about 10% of the Costa Rica economy. Obviously, it has really hurt a lot of people here, just like everywhere in the world. So anyhow, we're waiting. It says the press conference will start at 1:05 p.m. in typical Costa Rican style. We're going to get a little bit of a late start. In the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to post them right here in the comments. They've got some great ambient music going on for the press conference, if anyone's wondering. If you're just joining us now, we're getting ready for an English translation of the Ministry of Health's daily press conference about COVID-19. Importantly, today, rumor has it that the Costa Rican government is going to be giving details of the plans they have for reopening borders. The government had previously said that they would open borders on August 2nd. They clarified that along the way to say, we're going to start opening our airports to international flights. Their borders, the land borders with Nicaragua and Panama, are almost certainly going to remain closed. We also expect to hear, unfortunately, that US citizens are probably not going to be among the first batch of countries that are allowed into Costa Rica, the surging coronavirus numbers there currently. But the government has said we're opening to some countries on August 2nd, or I think on midday of August 1st. They've been preparing airports, installing all kinds of sanitary measures, putting protocols into place. And so we're all anxiously waiting to hear which countries will be allowed in here in just over a week, and which countries will be waiting to get down to Costa Rica a little bit longer. My name is Matt Rosensteel. If anybody doesn't know me personally yet, again, I'm with Coldwell Banker Tamarindo Realty here in Guanacaste. I live in Playa Junquillal, a very small community about 30 minutes south of Tamarindo. Originally, I came to Costa Rica as a Peace Corps volunteer in 2008. At that point, I spoke proficient Spanish. Over time, I became fluent, I feel now. I've done a lot of work translating before, so I'm hoping I'll be able to do a decent job in giving news regarding the Ministry of Health's conference today on COVID-19. But we'll see. Like I said, I probably will not be able to interact or think about pretty much anything except listening to the conference on this headphone and giving English into this microphone. So again, if you have questions, feel free to email me after the broadcast is finished. matt@cbtamarindo.com is my email address. And we are waiting here just a couple more minutes. They said it'll start at 1:05. If I had been watching these press briefings daily, I probably would have known they were going to start a few minutes late, but oh well. We're always pretty accustomed to waiting on things here in Costa Rica. And frankly, starting 5 minutes late is absolutely negligible. If an event here in Costa Rica, especially in Guanacaste, starts within half an hour or even an hour of the programmed starting time, a lot of times people would be surprised here. So 1:05, we'll be seeing the Ministry of Health start their press conference and giving us all the exciting updates about what the reopening program is going to look like as it starts on August 2nd. It's a public service announcement giving different risk factors, etc. They haven't actually started the press conference yet. One of the things they've been doing a lot of here in Costa Rica, because it's such a, the government is very proactive here in Costa Rica. You've been seeing public service announcements, but hearing them on the radio constantly, on the internet, really sort of tons of messaging about the importance of solidarity, people coming together, helping out old people that they know, And there's a heavy-handed or very here in Costa Rica, the government does take, like I said, a proactive role in broadcasting information like that. So hopefully here in just a moment, we will start with the daily press conference and find out what everybody's been waiting to hear. When will Costa Rica's borders open to which countries? Go ahead and get comfortable here. I would expect that there will be lots of boring side information that isn't quite as interesting as the specifics about the borders opening that everyone wants to hear. Paula, I'm excited too. You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. After 12 years living here, one of my main skills is the ability to listen and understand Spanish. So I'm more than happy to share with everybody. If you're interested in moving to Costa Rica, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I publish informational videos about real estate. I am a realtor. I also cover topics about expat living, everything from taxes to the real estate national registry, legal documents, interviews with expats. I also talk to my lawyer every now and then. So please do subscribe to my channel if you just want to learn more about Costa Rica. Here we go. I'm switching to translation. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon. This is a press conference for addressing the challenge of COVID-19. She's introducing the different functionaries. Actually, this is the sign language translator. Somebody unseen is giving the overview of who is on stage. President of the Republic. We're going to listen to the Minister of Health for the report, the epidemiological report. I hope so too, Witcher. This is the Minister of Health, Daniel Salas. $768 new cases. 13,000 in some total cases. He's giving specifics about the data, about 5,800 men. Of the 13,000 total cases, about 10,000 are Tico and 3,000 are foreigners. Also giving data of how the age brackets work out, most of the people with coronavirus being older. Sorry, I can't listen to those numbers and translate them as fast as possible, but 290 people hospitalized. 43 people in intensive care. Ten new deaths. $81 total people have passed away from COVID-19 so far. 27 women, 54 men. So they're now showing the stats. That was just the numerical results. Next up is the president. Good afternoon to everyone who's watching, journalists, everybody here in the auditorium. Always formally in speaking in Spanish here in Costa Rica, they He's giving thanks to everyone doing their work, health workers, for giving their long days, people working in the field, people tracing the cases, to the health minister, thank you. He's saying they've had good advances in what is tracing cases and isolating them. They've been getting better at following the trail of the virus, and he wants to give thanks to everyone who's been making that possible. Thank you to the Ticos, Costa Ricans. This isn't easy. This is probably the closest we've ever been to a war for most of us here in Costa Rica. It's not a war with arms and battles, but yes, we have people who are dying. Yes, we have people on the first line of attention. Police officers, public transportation officers, everybody who's been working on this is on a front line. And also, as it was seen in the World War, we're seeing huge impacts on our economy. This is the time of the virus. It's an extraordinary time, a difficult time, and we have to make sacrifices. I've heard from people because of the measures have been suffering. We will come back to these people, or they're saying they will come back to try and fix the damage done. Today, we're in the process of finding the trail of the virus and increasing the capacity of our hospitals to handle it, even though we hope it's not necessary. They've expanded a couple hospitals to address cases. We have to keep following it. We have to keep pursuing this. With me here today is the Minister of He today is going to present the advances that will happen August 1st in the area of tourism, with care, or with caution. Also giving support to the tourism sector, restaurants, transport, etc. With responsibility, and within that framework, that the minister is going to make this announcement, how we're going to manage airports and other activities related to tourism from August 1st onward. We have to maintain a balance between health and the life of people, and health and the life of the economy. Many thanks. I'll be available for questions. Interestingly, on the Facebook feed, if you're watching, you see a majority of angry faces. There are lots of people upset with the economic restrictions that they put in place. Here's the Minister of Tourism, hopefully with specifics on the border reopening. Good afternoon to everybody watching, to the health minister, to the president. We want to communicate that we're going to give very gradual steps, very planned, deliberate steps towards reopening the tourism sector in balance with the health of Costa Ricans, while also protecting employment and tourism. Before he gets on to those decisions, he wants to make 3 things. Because first of all of these measures that will come in on August 1st should be taken with enormous responsibility. People should take this progress according to all of the norms established by the health ministry, the protocols, etc. Respecting health protocols is a step towards opening the economy. The decisions aren't easy. They're coordinated between many institutions. And we're all learning to handle this as we go along, is sort of the sentiment. We have to take decisions very carefully. These decisions finally are little droplets of hope. In many cases, we're talking about women micro-entrepreneurs, communities. First measure is the gradual opening of international flights. EU, UK, and Canada Costa Rica will be accepting international flights from the EU, Canada, and the UK. I missed a little bit, but it says there are going to be about 5 flights per week to start. Yeah, really, it's going to be very few tourists, but it's a step in the right direction. It's a signal to the international tourism sector that in advancing months, there will be more opening. So if you're just joining us, it's the EU, UK, and Canada that will be able to send international flights to Costa Rica as of August 1st. He's reiterating it's all going to be very gradual. In addition to the good news of opening the international, in addition to opening the airports, the good news is that they've been classified as a safe destination by an international tourism agency that I didn't quite hear exactly which one it is. Deb, I'm afraid no US, not yet. Just Canada, UK, and the EU for the August 1st opening. So he's encouraging people to keep that positive context, the recognition we've got. People coming on these flights are going to have to fulfill strict requirements that will help us protect TICOs, but also while still giving a signal to other people that we are going to be opening. They're going to have to fill out an epidemiological form at the airport. They'll have to get a COVID test and get a negative result within 48 hours before coming in. They will also have to acquire, you'll also have to acquire a travel insurance policy. So the 3 requirements were getting a COVID test 48 hours beforehand, the trip insurance, and I can't remember the third. Now, within the country, for counties that are in yellow alert, beaches. Oh, beaches will be open till 2:30 in yellow areas going forward in the afternoon. So that, he's saying, yeah, this is a shared responsibility. We all have to stay very much within the health protocols, et cetera, and that these tiny advances that they're opening to 5 international flights more or less per week, plus the beaches now being open until 2:30 in the afternoon in yellow areas are just, that we all have to be working together and they're going to permit tourism activities in yellow areas as well, hiking trails, surfing, some of the things that were not previously allowed. Always with a strict fulfillment of the protocols. They have not mentioned whether or not there will be a quarantine on arrival. They've been putting together brigades of people who are going to be watching that everything is being done according to the rules. Sounds like more health officials monitoring, especially in tourism areas, how things are going. These news come into effect from August 1st onward. Once again, encouraging local Costa Ricans to partake in national tourism, to support the tourism sector here. Okay, and now we're going to be speaking with somebody else at not sure who the next person is or what her role is. The title of her position was longer than I can remember, but it's a planning, and she's going to announce a package supporting the tourism sector. But really, it sounds like we've departed from the important information everybody was waiting to hear. Again, if you weren't around when they made the announcement, as of first, we're going to get international flights from the EU, UK, and Canada. They expect that only 5 flights per week will start out at the beginning. Yeah, she is now talking more about a credit for the different companies that have been affected. So I'm actually just going to call it a day there, because I don't think everybody wants to hear the specific information about the tourism economic stimulus. If you're interested in staying posted on COVID-19, the borders, etc., be sure to subscribe to my channel. When they have more updates to provide, I'll do a live broadcast translating again. They haven't really given details of the flights and specifically how things are going to work with people arriving, whether there will be a quarantine or not, but they did say everyone will have to fill out a form before they get here, get a COVID-19 test within 48 hours of leaving, within 48 hours of coming to Costa Rica, and finally, when they get here, there was the form the COVID-19 test and something. And now I think I remember two of the three, but different ones. But anyhow, do subscribe to my channel to watch out for updates here. If you want to move to Costa Rica, I'd love to help answer any questions you have about real estate, expat living here, etc. It's been a pleasure translating for everybody today. If something really important comes out of this, I'll be happy to post more updates, but really knowing now that beaches are open in yellow areas till 2:30 p.m. was one of the improvements. Travel insurance, you're right, Robert. I appreciate it. Travel insurance, as well as the form and the COVID-19 test for Canadians, EU, and the UK coming down to Costa Rica. So we'll look forward to people coming down as of August 1st. I know I have a lot of Canadian and EU friends that were anxious to find out when they could get in, as well as the UK. Thanks very much for watching. Again, my name is Matt Rosensteel. Feel free to email me at matt@cbtamarindo.com if you have any questions. Thanks very much and take care. Pura vida. Thank you, Paula. Appreciate it. Take it easy.